I'm scared to turn 30. I feel like I haven't used the full potential of my late teens and my 20s. I've always lived in fear and in doubt, and whilst I did some things I want to do, I did a few things that I love and that I'm very proud of that I did and that I pushed myself to do them. I still feel like I didn't do enough. I have lots of regrets inside of me. Lots. Loads. And it's not necessarily about the things that I did do, it's mostly about the things that I didn't do. Looking back at my adolescence years and my late teens is just bleak. All the memories are bleak from that time. I spent, not even exaggerating, I spent like 80% of those years sleeping away my sadness. I was heavily depressed throughout my teenage years because of various reasons, but the best escape for me, the best thing to do for me, the most exciting thing for me to do was to sleep. Sleep for hours and hours on end and to just not feel anything really. I really regret not being passionate enough and not pursuing my interests in the fear of judgment or a lack of support system that I so desperately wanted and one might say needed. I remember I always wanted to have at least one person cheering on me and believing in me, and as much as like my mom was my biggest supporter and fan my whole life, it's just sometimes you need that one outsider to believe in you, and everyone seemed to have something they like or even love and just go for it or have a clear path of how to achieve it. Everyone seemed to have a passion or interest of some kind, but I on the other hand, I would give up at the smallest hiccup or judgment, which really hasn't helped me to build a strong-willed personality that I could carry over into my 20s and even my 30s. In my head, I visualize life as linear. It's one line, and it has sections of from birth to death, has sections of when you were a toddler, when you were a child, when you're a teenager, and your adulthood, and then the older ages. And passing the 30s threshold for me feels like it's basically over. Kind of stepping over that edge of real adulthood where you really, well, in my head at least, where you really need to get yourself together. It feels like I have no more room for error once I turn 30 and older. It feels like any mistake or failure I make after that age will have a bigger impact in my life than the mistakes I made when I was younger. At this point, I still don't know who I am or what I want to do at all. Like whatsoever. That passion that I was searching for through my youth, through my teenagehood and my 20s, I still haven't found it, if it's even there. It takes me an enormous amount of mental effort to do daily tasks and just generally perform in life. I go to work and that's about all I can do throughout the day. I go to work, I do my job, and I make dinner in the evening. That's about as much as I have the capacity for. And everything else just I really have to push myself to do it to like an absolute breaking point. I can clearly visualize what my dream life would look like. I can see it in such detail and it's clear, but I can only see the end result. I can only visualize the end result of my dream life. But I can't for the life of me to even begin to take the steps to get there. I feel absolutely lost and clueless as to even where to start. So the end goal is all in my head. The dreamland is there, but how to get there? Clueless. Not a clue. I just feel incredibly stuck. And I feel like time is running out. I feel like my brain is still stuck between the ages of 12 and 14, something around there. But my soul and my being, my whole being is 29, the age I am now. I don't feel like a legit adult. At all. I feel like an absolute fraud of an adult, if anything. And as I age, it's getting increasingly more embarrassing that I can't do certain things without severe anxiety. Like phone calls, or making appointments, or speaking up for myself at work or any other setting, or just growing thicker skin. Like, that doesn't come naturally to me, and I still haven't figured that out at all. And I don't want to climb the career ladder. And unfortunately, I have chosen a career that's quite ageist, by which I mean younger people will always have the advantage. I chose a career that doesn't offer much progression unless you choose to climb the ladder and get into the managerial roles, which I don't wish to do. Which also means that the wages will keep stagnant and mid at best. I feel incredibly childish and I feel like every decision I have made so far in life is wrong for some reason. Whenever I look back at my choices, I'm like, why did I do that? Or why didn't I do that? Why did I not finish this or start that? It's always some sort of regret. I feel like the older I will keep getting, the more motivation I will continue losing to pursue things, which I never had a lot of in the first place. Like, motivation and me just don't get along. She does like to visit me often, unfortunately. My brain has continuously played the "it's too late" track in my mind since I was like 15 years old. And at the age of 29, it has become second nature and more believable than ever. I struggle to follow healthy eating habits and staying active, which, with the new decade and getting older, will definitely bite me in the ass. And I know I can start anytime. It's never too late to start eating healthy or staying more active, but my track record of trying always ends up in me slipping back or just giving up. I logically understand that nothing major is gonna happen or change overnight once I turn 30. But I just know the years will trickle away and I will be 40 years old, looking back thinking, where did all the years go and why did I do nothing with them? I've set expectations for myself that I just haven't met, and it almost feels like a deadline that I can't extend. I see a lot of posts on social media from women in their 30s saying their lives improved massively in that decade, and they were feeling and doing miles better than they ever did in their 20s. What was posted and shared to bring comfort to those in their 20s only brings me a feeling of fear and guilt. Because what if I turn 30 and fail to change yet again? What if I turn 30 and waste it away just like I wasted my teenage years and my 20s? It seems like I'm scared of myself, really. I'm painfully aware that I'm stuck in victim zone and just drowning in self-pity. Yet I struggle to swim out of it. After all, time doesn't care if I'm afraid or not. I will be turning 30 regardless, and only I will be able to decide what I will do with that decade. I guess that's my biggest fear, knowing that it's me who will have to decide and take action, and not someone more stable and more truer to themselves. But I digress. I just hope my future self is kind to me. That's all.